What's up, everybody? Today we're going to talk about non-exempt money when you file bankruptcy, at least in Kansas. Okay? Norman Douglas. I own the Kansas Bankruptcy Center. You can find us at www.mybankruptcymeeting.com. There you can pick a day and time and fill out the intake form and then schedule a free consultation to speak with me. All right? So today we're going to talk about non-exempt property when it comes to money in Kansas, right? So Kansas doesn't have any exemptions for cash. And by cash, I mean literally cash buried in your backyard, stuck away in your closet, in your pocket. Checking account balance, savings account balance, HSA, health savings account balance, FSA, health savings account and flex spending accounts. Sorry, brain moment there. So health savings account and flex spending accounts, those are included, okay, and in the cash that I'm defining it as. Other accounts would be, kind of Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, Zelle, whatever you may have. This includes all accounts, right? It doesn't matter if it's a savings account, if it is a checking account, something like that. Now, of course, in Kansas, your 401k is exempt. IRAs, CAPERS accounts, retirement accounts are exempt, although there's some issues with those, but generally, overall, those are exempt. So let's get back to cash, right? All of the accounts, checking, savings, Venmo, etc., that money is not exempt, okay? And so what does that mean? If your attorney is going to file your bankruptcy case today, then we ask you for the balance that is in those accounts and or in cash on person the day that you file. And it's generally the morning that you file. So when you open up your bank account this morning and it says I have $150 in there, that's the balance we use. If it says you have $300 in there, but only $150 is available, the $300 is still the available balance. Because there may be a pending charge from a debit card, or there may be other pending charges from something. The pending charges don't count, okay? So it is the available balance right then. Or not the available balance, but the actual balance. Available balance usually subtracts out that pending amount. So it is the actual balance in the account the day we file, all right? It doesn't mean that at 2 o'clock, if that pending charge comes through and now you only have 150, that we use 150. It's the $300 that you started with that day, okay? I bring this up because it's not a complicated topic, but sometimes it gets folks into trouble. Sometimes folks will tell us, here's my bank account balance, and it's not right. It is the available balance, not the entire balance, okay? So you want to make sure it's the actual balance of the account right then. Why is that important? Because there's no exemption for money in Kansas. So if you have $300 in your account, then that's the amount the trustee can ask for to turn over. Okay, it doesn't have to be that $300, but they're going to ask you to turn over potentially $300, not the $150. All right. If you just got paid today and you have $1,300 in there because you got paid $1,000, then they could ask for $1,300. Okay. Generally, if you get paid today and we're ready to file today, we won't file today. Like, that's generally a bad idea. What you do is you would take that money and you would pay your bills. You pay your rent, your mortgage, your car payment, your car insurance. You would pay you'd buy food, you pay electric, gas, cell phone, you'd pay your bills, right? And then when you're broke, before your next paycheck, that's when we would file, okay? If you file today and you get paid tomorrow, then the trustee can't take that money because it was after you filed your case, all right? So it's important to kind of keep track of those balances. Normally, you want to have as little as possible in cash and or those balances that you can the day you file. And so you don't want to write a bunch of checks the week before we file, because it could take a week, it could take 3 weeks for those checks to clear. So, if you have rent due and you're going to pay it with a check, generally I would recommend go take out that $600 in cash for rent, take the cash to the landlord and get a receipt saying that you paid that $600 in rent. That way, if the trustee says, hey, why did you take out $600 2 days before you filed your bankruptcy, you can say that was for rent. And if they ask, I have a receipt, here it is, and then you're good, okay? So pay attention to your account balances. Because it is the complete balance the day you file. All right, so that's important. Some states have exemptions, right? Some states have wildcard exemptions where you can exempt anything up to X amount, right? You could keep some cash, you could keep a guitar, whatever it is. You can throw those underneath the wildcard. Kansas, unfortunately, has no wildcard and no exemption for any money. Doesn't matter what the amount is. Now, typically, trustees will look at the total amount, right, that is non-exempt property in your case, and they may not want you to turn it over because you had $100 in there, you had $50 in there, whatever the amount is. That's a different situation. That's the trustee using their discretion and not requesting turnover, right? Because generally it's not worth their time. If they have you turn over $50 and you have 20 creditors, then they have to spread out that $50 equally, and then they have to write letters, they have to write checks, they have to pay postage, they have to do all this stuff, they have to account for everything and who got what, proportion it out to how much you owe, and then they pay those, they pay all 20 creditors $1, right? Doesn't make much sense. That doesn't mean they can't. It just means that generally they use their discretion and they don't choose to. But talk to your attorney because you want to know kind of the trustees in your district, what they do and how much they look for. That way you're protected as much as you can be. All right. So that's all I got. Norman Douglas, Kansas Bankruptcy Center. You can go to mybankruptcymeeting.com and schedule a consultation. Until next time, talk to you later. Bye.